Hello everyone, welcome to the revision and we are going to start with the first chapter, that is arithmetic progression. This is the first chapter of our revision. So what is arithmetic progression? It is abbreviated as AP as well. What does this AP or arithmetic progression stand for? The word progression means that something is progressing. So this value, this value, this value, it is in progression all the time. But the progression is arithmetic, and by arithmetic we mean that there is an either addition or subtraction, simple arithmetic operation. There is no, it is not progressing by multiplication or by division. So we have the first value can be 5, the second will be 7, then obviously the third will be 9, then 11, then 13, then 15 and so on. Such a sequence or such a progression is called as arithmetic progression AP. In this the first term A, because it is the first term we call it A1 and it is also referred to as A, is equal to 5. The first term is called as A or it is called as A1. Second term will be A2, which is equal to A plus some difference, some constant difference D. Obviously you can subtract and you will get that D is equal to 2 in this sequence. D is the common difference because this is the difference between these two terms, these two terms, these two terms, these two terms, these two terms. If the sequence is increasing, the D value will be positive, the difference will be positive. Because you can see if you subtract the previous number from the next number, so 7 minus 5 is equal to plus 2. 9 minus 7 will be equal to plus 2. 11 minus 9 will be equal to plus 2. 13 minus 11 will also be equal to plus 2. 15 minus 13 again is plus, and so on. So what is happening is the difference is constant and the difference is positive if the sequence is progressing. That means I should not be using the word progressive. I'm saying that the values are increasing. If the individual numbers in the sequence are increasing, then the value of difference D is positive. We can do the opposite. We'll see one sequence is 6, 4, 2, 0, minus 2 and so on. You take any number and subtract the previous one. 4 minus 6 is minus 2, 2 minus 4 is minus 2. The difference will be negative. D is equal to minus 2 here. A is equal to 6, but D is equal to minus 2. Why do you get negative number? Because that is why, because the difference is coming as negative because the values are decreasing, and so the next value will be smaller and the previous value is greater, and we know the difference is next value minus the previous value. So the difference between the consecutive values is going to be negative, and that's why we got it minus 2. Hypothetically, there can be a sequence like this: 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, where the value of A is equal to 5 and the value of D is equal to 0. So the next value will be equal to 5 plus 0, 5 plus 2, 0, and so on. But this is, it is just impossible for this to come in any examination. It's just too trivial. But yeah, even this is an AP. Alright, so we already know what AP is. Let's quickly derive some basic formulae and then solve some. So we have supposedly A1 is equal to A, and there is no difference to be added here. So let's just write A plus 0D. A2 is equal to A plus D, matlab A plus 1D. A3 is equal to, add one more D, so it is A plus 2D. A4 is equal to, the next number, one more D should be added, so A plus 3D. A5 will be equal to A plus 4D. In general, a general term AN will be equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. You can observe this. When this was 1 here, this value in bracket was 0, 1 less than this. When it was 2 here, it is 1. 1 less than this. 3, 1 less is here. 4, 1 less is here. 5, 1 less is here. So if it is n, 1 less, n minus 1 would be in the bracket. This is the expression for the nth term. You can solve some problem. Supposedly an AP has A is equal to 5 first term and the difference is equal to 3. Find the 7th term and 11th term. 7th term A7 will be equal to, the formula is this, A plus n minus 1, so 7 minus 1 into D. A is 5, 6 into D is 3. 18 plus 5 is 23. Similarly, 11th term, A plus 11 minus 1 into D. 5 plus 10 into 3, 30 plus 5, 35. So you can find out the different values in the given sequence. If A and D is known, all other values can be calculated by this formula. Supposedly you do not know the value of D. So there are 3 different variables in this case, A, D and An. If you know A and D, any value of An can be calculated. A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, anything can be calculated. But if you know An and A, you can calculate D's as well. Supposedly in a sequence, 7th term is equal to 24 and the first term is equal to 4. Find the difference D. So first term A will be equal to 4. 7th term A7 is equal to 24. But the value of An is A plus n minus 1 into D. The formula is An is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. So we'll take this as A7 is equal to A plus n minus 1, 7 minus 1, 6 into D is equal to 24. A is 4. 4 plus 6D is equal to 24. So 6D is equal to 24 minus 4. 6D is equal to 20. And the value of D is 20 upon 6, which is equal to 10 by 3. This can come in fractions. We don't have to solve this to get the decimal. This is fine, it is fine. So we got this. If you do not know the value of D, you can calculate the value of D. If A and any nth value is known, you don't need to know 3, 4 different values. Any nth value, and this is done. There is no problem with that. If you know An and D, you can calculate A as well. Let's solve one such problem. Supposedly, we'll stick to this. Seventh term is 24 and the difference, common difference, D is equal to 3. Calculate the first value, calculate A. Now the 7th term A7 is equal to 24. So A plus 6D is equal to 24. A we don't know, but difference we know. A plus 6 into bracket 3. A plus 18. 24 minus 18 is equal to 6. So we got the value of A. If you do not know the value of A, but you know the value of An and you know the value of D, you can get the value of A using the simple logic. So if the three values, like we take A, D and An, Out of these three values, an is nth value. It can be seventh value, it can be sixth value, it can be fifth value, any value, one value. If you know a, if you know d, you can calculate any nth value. If you know any nth value, a7, a8, a10, and you know the value of d, you can calculate a. If you know the nth value and a, you can calculate d. But what if you only know an and a and d both are not known? Is it possible to find out? Let's see. So we have in an AP, A7 is equal to 24 again, and A11 is equal to 36. Find the value of A and find the value of D. Even if D is not asked, if you only want to find out the value of A, the only way to calculate A is by finding D as well. Or let's just see, let's not speculate about it. Why discuss? Solve kar dete na. So we have A7 will be equal to A plus 6D. I think there should not be a problem here. I'll write the equation. AN is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. So A7 will be equal to A plus 7 minus 1, 6 into D is equal to 24. A11 is A plus 10D is equal to 36. Now we'll subtract this from this, और फ्रॉम उल्टा सब्ट्रैक्ट करते हैं, इसमें से ये माइनस किया, इसका साइन नेगेटिव हो जाएगा, इसका भी साइन नेगेटिव, इसका भी साइन नेगेटिव, a and a is cancelled, 6d minus 10d is 4d, ये माइनस आएगा, बड़ा माइनस है, यहाँ पे ये नेगेटिव माइनस आएगा, माइनस 12, माइनस 4 से डिवाइड किया, d is equal to minus 12 upon minus 4 is 12 by 4 is 3. The difference is 3, and if the difference is 3, put any one value. A7 is equal to 24. So A plus 6D is equal to 24. A plus 6 into D का value 3 है. 24 minus 18 is 6. So the value of A comes out to be 6. The values can change, the answer will be different in that case, but the point is, how can we calculate? We know that if you know two different values of an, like a5 and a9, a5, a8, a7, a13, a23, a99, it doesn't matter which value. If you know two different values, you can calculate a and d, and the entire sequence and everything about the sequence can be decoded. I hope you understand this. We'll now talk about the sum of the numbers. So the sequence is A plus D, A plus 2D, A plus 3D, A plus 4D, and so on. We define Sn as the sum of first n terms. So if I write S3, इसका मतलब first term, second term और third term तीनों का addition. If I write S5, S5 का मतलब है first term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term, पांचों का addition. So we are adding the first n terms here. It's not like only the nth term. We are adding all the terms, starting from the first term up to that nth term. We are adding everything. So this is equal to A plus D plus A plus 2D plus dot 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 dot. Last nth term will be, or this I'll just make it easier to understand. In case somebody has any doubt, let's not skip these steps. So the first will be A1 मतलब first term plus A2 second term plus A3 third term plus A4 fourth term up to AN will be the last term. Somebody will say so only 3 terms, then A3 तक S3 चाहिए S3, then you only take 3 terms A1, A2 and A3 and add them together. Because the last term will be AN. So if it is the value of n is 3, S3 will be equal to, starting from A1, add all the numbers up to A3. So A1 plus A2 plus A3, that's it. If it is 4, add the first 4 terms. If it is 8, S8, add the first 8 terms. This is what it means. A1 is A, A2 is A plus D, A3 is A plus 2D, A4 is A plus 3D, and dot dot dot. AN is A plus n minus 1 into D. Here A all can be taken on one side. So A plus A plus A plus A plus A. How many times? 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n times. If I add twice, I get 2A. If I add 3 times, I get 3A. If I add A 4 times, I get 4A. If I add A n times, I will get NA. अब ये रहा D plus D plus 2D plus 3D plus dot 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 n minus 1 into D. ये हो गया, this part is there. So we'll take D common here. One plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus up to, और 4 नहीं यहाँ पे, ठीक है, dot 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 n minus 1. 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to n minus 1. 4, 5 can be included if the value of n is, appropriate. Whichever way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, up to n plus 1. The sum of first n natural numbers, the first n natural numbers starting from 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to n would be equal to n into bracket n plus 1 upon 2. This is the standard formula. We can use this. But we don't want n, we want n minus 1. तो n की जगह n minus 1 होगा. तो यहाँ पे n की जगह n minus 1 होगा. एंड यहाँ पे n plus 1 की जगह n minus 1 plus 1 मतलब n. तो ये आएगा n into n minus 1 upon 2. So this is equal to n a plus d into bracket n minus 1 divided by 2. यहाँ पे n by 2 है, यहाँ पे n है, n by 2 को कॉमन ले लेंगे तो बचेगा 2a plus n minus 1 into d, and this is the formula for Sn. n by 2 into bracket 2a plus n minus 1 into d. There is one more way to reach this. Sn can also be written as n multiplied by the middle term, middle value. What is the middle value? The first value a1, the last value an divided by 2. This is equal to n और ये divided by 2 मल्टीप्लीकेशन है, यहाँ पे लेते हैं n by 2 और फिर आएगा into ब्रैकेट में a1 का वैल्यू होता है a, an का वैल्यू होता है a plus n minus 1 into d. n by 2 into bracket a plus a 2a plus n minus 1 into d. The formula, whichever way you want. Should that formula, should this ever come to derive the formula? Normally it will not come. In a very rare situation, if it ever comes, you can use this and derive the formula. Now if you know Sn, then how can you find out either A or D? So we have two important formulae here. An is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D, or rather I will write the formula in black ink. AN is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D, and Sn is equal to N by 2 2A plus So now we'll solve some problems based on this. First is very simple, in a sequence 3, 7, 11, 15 and so on. Find the sum of first 20 terms. So S20 is equal to N by 2 into bracket 2A plus N minus 1 into D is Sn. So S20 will be equal to 20 by 2 into bracket 2A. But 2A, what is the first term? 3. 2 into 3, 6. Plus N minus 1, 20 minus 1, 19. Into D is difference 4. 10 into bracket 6 plus 19 into 4 is 76. 76 plus 6, 82. 82 into 10 is 820. Is the answer. But this is just far easy, and we don't expect the problems to be so easy. So it's all some slightly more difficult, a realistic kind of problem which can be a potential problem for the examination. So supposedly A17 is equal to and A12 is equal to find S20. A17 is equal to A12 subtract A cancel 5D and D is equal to 2. If D is equal to 2, we'll put anywhere and we get A is equal to, substitution करके D is equal to 16 into D 32. 32, 40 minus 32, 8. A is equal to 8. So our sequence will be 8, 10, 12 and so on. S20 is equal to 20 by 2. 2A. 2A मतलब 2 into 8, 16. Plus N minus 1, 19. Into D is 2. 10 into bracket 16 plus 92 is 30, 92 is 38. 38 plus 16, 38 plus 16 is 54. So the answer is 540. We can use the formula and get the answer. It is not that difficult. We'll now solve some realistic problems which have actually come in the examination. I marked out 3 problems, not because they are difficult, not because they are less difficult. It's just that I randomly chosen 3 problems, and I will solve those 3 problems, and then we will wrap it up for the revision. I'm not saying I'm covering every kind of problem. We will cover every kind of problem when we solve the worksheet. Right now I'm just taking 3 problems for revision. I'll read out the problem. The ratio of 10th term to 38th term of an AP is 1 by 3. Matlab 10th term is A10 and to 38th term is A30. is equal to 1:3. The sum of first 6 terms is 42. So S6 is 42. Calculate the first term and the common difference. S6 is 42. We'll just write the data as it is. We'll see what can be done. S6 का मतलब है ये formula. To A, we don't know the value of A. N minus 1, N यहाँ पे 6 value है, तो यहाँ का 6 minus 1. Into D, we don't know the value of BD. So this is S6 is 42. 6 by 2, 3 into bracket 2A plus 5D. 3 can be divided because this is a multiple of 3. So we can divide and we get 14 is equal to 2A plus 5D. And this is our equation 1. तो ऑनेस्टली बताओ, मुझे पता भी नहीं कि इसके आगे सॉल्यूशन जाएगा कि नहीं जाएगा, बट यहाँ तक तो दिस इज द आर्ट वी नीड टू लर्न. Even if we are not sure if we are getting far ahead or not, whatever, you might be able to walk that one step with complete intensity, complete energy. If you can solve one step at a time with full devotion and dedication, then it's just a matter of one more step, clicking in your mind कि अरे ये भी तो हो सकता है, ये भी तो हो सकता है, and eventually you get the answer. अब मुझे इसका पता ही नहीं इसका क्या करना है, बट ये जो होता है रेशियो, इसका मतलब होता है डिवीजन. सो आई राइट A10 upon A30 is equal to 1/3. जिसको ये बिल्कुल नहीं पता है अरिथमेटिक प्रोग्रेशन, वो तो बोलेगा सर A कैंसिल करो, 10/30 1/3 हो गया ना. बेटा ऐसा नहीं. A10 का वैल्यू होता है ये फॉर्मूला, क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे. A plus 29D into 1 is A plus 29D is equal to, ये मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, A की जगह 3 है, 3 into A और 3 into 9 मतलब 27D. ये फ्लिप करके मुझे मिल जाएगा, यार आई डोंट हैव स्पेस, आई राइट हियर नाउ. ये 3A है, A वहां पे चला जाएगा. 3A minus A is 2A and 29D minus 27D is 2D. इसका मतलब 2 2 कैंसिल होके A और D इक्वल है. ये बहुत सिग्निफिकेंट ब्रेक थ्रू हुआ. A और D अगर इक्वल है तो यहाँ पे A की जगह D लिख सकता हूँ मैं. फिर अगर 2A या 2D प्लस 5D मतलब 70 एंड 7D इज इक्वल टू 14. 7 से डिवाइड करके D इज इक्वल टू 2. अगर D 2 है तो A भी 2 है. हो गया प्रॉब्लम. A और D निकालना है. I hope you understand this. आपको एक इक्वेशन, ये इक्वेशन मिल गया, दूसरा इक्वेशन मिल गया, दोनों को साइमल्टेनियसली सॉल्व किया. अब यहाँ पे तो डायरेक्ट सब्स्टिट्यूशन से हो सकता है, बट यू कैन सॉल्व साइमल्टेनियसली. अगर कुछ और टेढ़ा मेढ़ा इक्वेशन आता 9A plus 7D is equal to कुछ, तब भी साइमल्टेनियसली सॉल्व हो ही सकता है. यू कैन डू दैट. दिस इज हाउ वी गेट द आंसर. नेक्स्ट प्रॉब्लम is, I'll read the problem first. If the sum of first 7 terms of an AP, if the sum of first 7 terms of an AP is 49 and the sum of first 17 terms is 289, then find the sum of first 20 terms. Sum of first 7 terms is 7 is equal to 49 and as 17, the first 17 terms is equal to 289. ये 7 का स्क्वायर है, ये 17 का स्क्वायर है. So we are asked about S20. We'll just wonder, if it is 20 का स्क्वायर 200 आएगा क्या, 400 आएगा क्या? But I don't suppose so. Let's see. We'll check. First is S7, 7 by 2. Formula, sorry. Write this again. An is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. Sn is equal to n by 2 into bracket 2A plus n minus 1 into D. We will use Sn formula here. So it is n by 2. S7 is 7 by 2 into bracket 2A. We don't know what is 2A. So 2A. 7 minus 1 6D. इन दोनों में से 2 कॉमन निकलेगा, तो 2 कॉमन निकलेगा, 2 2 कट हो जाएगा, तो S7 will be equal to 7A plus 21D. I hope you understand. And this is equal to 49. एक बटा I made a mistake. I corrected. मतलब ये सही करेक्ट है, बट इसकी जरूरत नहीं थी. यहाँ पे 2 कॉमन आएगा इन दोनों में से, तो ब्रैकेट में बचेगा a plus 3d. 2 2 कैंसिल हो जाएगा, तो 49 is equal to 7 into bracket a plus 3d. अब ये 7 से डिवाइड हो जाएगा, तो 7 is equal to is equation 1. इसका आएगा इक्वेशन 2. 1 और 2 साइमल्टेनियसली सॉल्व करके a और d का आंसर आ जाएगा, फिर यहाँ पे S20 का वैल्यू आ जाएगा. मैं ये सॉल्व करके देता हूँ, बाकी तो हम लोग कर ही सकते हैं. S17 is equal to 17 by 2 into bracket 2a plus 16d n minus 1. यहाँ पे 2 कॉमन रखिए, S17 आएगा 289. यहाँ पे 2 कॉमन आएगा, 2 2 कैंसिल हो जाएगा, तो यहाँ पे बचेगा a plus 8d. 17 से डिवाइड करेंगे तो 17 is equal to a plus 8d. 7 is equal to a plus 3d. सब्ट्रैक्ट करके 10 आ जाएगा, a कैंसिल हो जाएगा, यहाँ पे आएगा 5d. So we get 5d is equal to 10, d is equal to 2. So if I get d is equal to 2, I will put it here. 3 plus 2, 3 into 2 is 6. 6 subtract a is equal to 1. So a is equal to 1. So I get the value of a, I get the value of d. Now I want the value of S20. S20 is equal to 20 by 2 into bracket 2a. A is equal to 1. 2 into a is 2 plus 19 n minus 1 is 19 into d is 2. This is equal to 10 into bracket 19 2s are 38 and 38 plus 2 is 40. 40 into 10 is 400. This indeed is the pattern, है ना? S7 is 49 in this problem. 7 का स्क्वायर 49, 17 का स्क्वायर 289, तो S20 का तो 20 का स्क्वायर 400 आएगा. Interesting, very interesting. We'll solve one more problem. Which term of AP is the first negative term? Which term of the AP, and the AP is 61, 57, 53, no 65, starting with 65, 61, 57, 53 and so on. From this AP, the terms are reducing. So the value of D must be equal to negative. So A is equal to 65 and the value of D is 61 minus 60 minus 4, we know that. So every next term will be smaller than the previous term by 4. Eventually, there will be one term which will be negative. After that, every term will be negative. So what is the first negative term? We are not asking about the second, third, fourth negative term or whichever other term. Only the first negative term. All the terms are positive here, but it will be negative one day. Which is that one negative term? So we are interested in that term, not the sum of the terms. an is less than 0. So an is a plus n minus 1 into d is less than 0. A is 65 plus n we don't know, n minus 1, and the value of d is minus 4 is less than 0. (65) goes on this side, n minus 1 into minus 4 is less than minus 65. Let's multiply this. Minus 4n plus 4 is less than minus 65. प्लस 4 भी वहाँ पे माइनस चला जाएगा. Minus 4n is less than minus 65 minus 4 minus 69. So we have n is greater than minus 69 upon minus 4. Somebody might ask me, sir, यहाँ पे less than था, ये greater than क्यों हुआ? Greater than इसलिए हुआ है because whenever you divide by a negative number, then the inequations will change. Less than का greater than का less than हो जाएगा. माइनस से मल्टीप्लाई करोगे या डिवाइड करोगे तब ये सही लेस देन का ग्रेटर देन होगा, ग्रेटर देन का लेस देन होगा. अब ये आएगा यहाँ पे. अब इसका परफेक्ट डिवीजन नहीं जाता, सो n शुड बी ग्रेटर देन, ये माइनस माइनस तो कट हो जाएगा. 69 अपॉन 4 मतलब 17 into 4 is 68, 17.25. इससे बड़ा मतलब n शुड बी इक्वल टू 18. 19 भी चलेगा क्योंकि ग्रेटर, लेकिन हमें फर्स्ट नेगेटिव टर्म चाहिए, ओनली दैट वन नेगेटिव टर्म. सो n इज इक्वल टू इमीडिएटली नेक्स्ट आफ्टर 17.25. 17.25 के नेक्स्ट वाला कौन सा है? 18. दैट इज आंसर. I hope you understand this. I hope you follow this. I try to come up with some 3-4 difficult questions on this chapter, and we'll try to compile into a small video of revision of the difficult ones. But that will be later on. Right now, what do I want? I want you to study this entire thing, study the chapter. I'll quickly generate a worksheet. I have made a worksheet actually, I think, for this chapter as well. And there are some other chapters as well. If I have not made for this chapter, I'll make it immediately and I'll send it to you very soon. We'll try to cover one chapter every day. There will be some lapses, of course, because we are having our holidays. Even I want my holidays. So we are saying at least 5 or 6 or 7 chapters in this entire vacation phase. Today is one chapter we are done with the revision. You'll also get worksheet, we'll solve that worksheet as well, and we'll address your difficulties. Tomorrow I will give you revision video for some other chapter. I hope you get this right. I hope this helps you, and I hope you study well. All the best.